March to May, and the National Lacrosse League brings us to the west coast of British Columbia and Vancouver for the final week of the regular season. And a matchup here between the Vancouver Warriors and Philadelphia Wings. Jake Elliott, Santino Farah up here in the broadcast booth, and we'll be joined by Olivia McDonald here in a few moments from now. But Tino, fan appreciation night at the Raj, and should be a good one here between the Wings and the Warriors.
It's all about the fans here tonight in the arena. They're cheering on the team for a win, and the Warriors will try to reward them.
Couple of things on the line here for both teams tonight. It's pretty simple here for both clubs. Philadelphia, with a loss here tonight, can clinch the #1 overall spot in the entry draft again here for the second straight year. And for Vancouver, a win will secure them second place, and a win and a little bit of help from Colorado, they can still reach that #1 spot.
Yeah, right now the Warriors, they're cheering for the Calgary Roughnecks, and Philly, it's all about the future for the second straight year.
Our players to watch here this evening, let's have a look at the local product, the New Westminster native who got traded from the Buffalo Bandits to the Philadelphia Wings and has really flourished since doing so.
It's about opportunity for Lucas Nielsen. People forget that he scored 50 in the BC Junior A League just a couple of summers ago. You don't do that by mistake, and he's getting plenty of opportunity in Philly.
On the other side for the Vancouver Warriors, it's the natural Jesse King, and he was instrumental in that comeback victory a week ago against the Halifax Thunderbirds. The veteran coming over from Calgary has really paid off here for Vancouver.
Yeah, it all goes back to that Buffalo game a couple of weeks ago where he was held pointless. He responds then last weekend with a 6-point performance over Halifax. It included that fourth quarter hat trick. It included the game winner as well. Expect more of that from Jesse King.
Always a fun player to watch is Jesse King as you see him interact with the fans here prior to tonight's game, and that'll lead us to our updated standings here. Now keep in mind, folks, a couple of games still in progress, and both have implications as well. Saskatchewan and Toronto are playing in Toontown right now. Colorado and Calgary are in the middle of their contest as well. But here are the updated standings with a couple of finals that have already gone here tonight. And with Georgia beating Rochester earlier tonight here, Tino, Las Vegas has been officially eliminated from the playoffs, and San Diego is officially in. We know our 8 teams.
Yeah, that's the benefit of Vancouver having the late game. We know the teams that are in. It's all just about seeding, which will be determined shortly.
Let's have a look at the starting goaltenders for tonight's game, and no surprise for either team as Nick Damoud, who was exceptional a week ago against Las Vegas. Historic performance, in fact, for Nick Damoud, and goaltending has not been the issue in Philadelphia this year. And the other end, it's Christian Del Bianco, and it's never an issue when he is in net. Sparkling numbers for the Phenom entering into the last game of the regular season. We're set to go here from Rogers Arena. Jake Elliott, Tino Farah, Olivia McDonald with you as Wings and Warriors set to go from the Raj. Fan appreciation night here as well. And below the whistle, let's play some lacrosse. We're underway. Max Adler and Big Bo Columbus sign this one off, and Vancouver will get the opening draw courtesy of Owen Grant. Man, down on the turf prior to the game, and my first-hand look at Bo Columbus, and he is a unit down there, I'll just say that. Claridge shooting off the inside of the post on the first shot of the game as that one rings the iron and out of play.
Early souvenir on Fan Appreciation Night.
Going home with something special there. Shot off the pipe there from Claridge as Keegan Ball with it now. 113 points, and look out, that one actually ended up on goal. Swatted back high, but Philadelphia quick to scoop that one up, and up they come for their first possession. Liam Patton. Looking to change has been Cromer. Here comes Kyle Jackson. Had a nice game against Las Vegas. Up front for Philadelphia. 5 wins on the season here for the Wings. Pass not caught cleanly by the local boy Lucas Nielsen, who we spotlighted prior to tonight's game as his first touch. Not a great one. Maybe a little nerves playing in front of friends and family here tonight, I'm sure, for the New West native.
And some big names out of the lineup for Philly. No Brendan O'Neill, no Eric Fennell. Of course, they're on the other side of the floor, but still, Lucas Nielsen is going to get a ton of touches tonight.
Our top 2 scorers, in fact, in Fennell and O'Neill out of the lineup here for Ian Rubel, head coach of the Wings here tonight, flanked by Patty McCready and the Hall of Famer Tracy Koleski. So here's Evan Messenger, one of the other local products here on this Philadelphia team out of Delta. Here's Coquitlam's Matt Beers. They'll hand off to Curtis Dixon as an errant stick down in the Vancouver defensive zone. He'll shovel to the corner with that one. Charlotte Beatties, corner feed for Dixon. Goal line extended now, looking in front of the goal, and that pass did not connect. Jesse King will run it down with 7 on the shot clock. Working on Isaiah Davis-Allen. King will shoot, and David will stop that one. And Philly, former Rush captain, now Philadelphia captain Chris Corbeil, back in his familiar 16. Will make the change as up come the Wings offensive players. Pass through the defensive zone. Back to Jackson it comes. He'll load, he'll fire. Del Bianco fights that one off to the corner. LeClaire will have a reset here for the Wings. Take their time with it. Good switch from the captain Mitski. There's Landon Sinfield out of Cornwall, Ontario. Won himself a President's Cup championship with the Snake Island Muskies last summer. Simpson on the fly, shoots, and David had to go right through his legs and out the other side, but wide of the target. Man, is he quick end to end. See a couple offensive reps up front for 22 tonight. We shall see. It's another controlled possession here for Philadelphia. 15 on the shot clock. Messenger will play up front tonight. He's fully adept at doing that, but does have the ability to play out the back gate as well. Charbonneau, a nice turnover here. Feeds into the middle of the floor for Matt Beers, and no transition there for Vancouver, so both teams will make some changes. As out here tonight, Brennan O'Neill and Cody Ennis. For Philadelphia and out for Kurt Malosky, head coach and general manager for Vancouver, the newly activated Nathan Miller and Peyton Cormier, the scratches here tonight. Klarich tried a pirouette with a loose ball, got it to go into his pocket, and a reaching shot there stopped by David. A heck of an effort there from Klarich. Still searching for the first goal of the evening here tonight.
Marcus Klarich is sure coming to his own this season. His first year as a full-time pro where he's played in every game, and he has been outstanding.
Down to 15 on the clock here for the Wings. Back to work. This is Sinfield. He'll fire, scores! That one caught Del Bianco down low through the 5-hole. And Landon Sinfield opens the scoring here tonight for Philadelphia.
It's never a bad feeling in your rookie year to tickle twine, especially when you get one past one of the best goalies in the game, in Christian Del Bianco. And I think this one may have caught a deflection. It may have just gone through a bit of a screen. You could see Brett Mitski sliding up, and it just might have caught the inside of his stick, and that just goes to the glove side of Christian Del Bianco. And the Warriors are going to have to try to get some more on Damu. Just 3 shots on goal so far, and you're seeing the early game plan from Philly here. They're trying to throw everything that they can on goal, and they're being rewarded right now.
Well, I was going to say that was kind of the strategy of Vancouver a week ago against Halifax, where they came out firing the ball with multiple shots on multiple possessions. And I know they only reached 8, but I thought that was part of their success, is just the volume, the amount of shots that they put on goal.
And Kurt Malosky speaks so much about the quality of shots as well. As long as they're hitting the net, that's part of their game plan.
King will start the offense here for Vancouver as they go lefty strong on this shift. Here's ball through the middle, but it's Curtis Dixon on a weaver, and he can't get the shot off cleanly. And then first through the crease to touch the ball was Keegan Ball. And that one changed possession quickly for Vancouver. As let's get the Zebras in here tonight. Crew chief Todd LeBranche working his 491st game in the National Lacrosse League. We'll have more on Todd as the evening moves along, as Simon D'Souza, Kyle Coulter, and Zachary Jones, your other officials here tonight. Another chance for the Wings. LeClaire spiked it wide on the short side, as Reese Callies with all sorts of time to pick up this loose ball. And now 8 seconds to get across center. And he's going to need a little help to do that. Does Sherlin Beatty's in some trouble, just had to flip it blindly over his head. King tried to run it down one-handed, but inadvertently kicked it into the pocket of Keegan Ball, and Vancouver saves the possession. Ball to the middle. So you have to get a shot off. On the go is Klarich as he looks for his early and often in this game, but that shot blocked by the Wings. Back across center it comes, and across the 10-minute mark we go. So that means break time here from Vancouver, with the Philadelphia Wings leading 1-0 with 9:16 here to go in this opening frame. More from Rogers Arena in Week 21 of the National Lacrosse League when we return.
It's Friday night. Whether you're at home or out on the town, it all starts here.
No, he didn't!
The weekend starts here.
Oh, what a move!
With NLL Friday night on TSN.
Welcome back to Rogers Arena here on Fan Appreciation Night as we finally get to introduce the third member of our broadcast team here tonight. Let's go down between the benches. Miss Olivia McDonald, what's going on, Liv?
Well, thank you, Jake, and hello to Tino. But I want to talk a little bit about Keegan Ball right now, a guy to spotlight. He has spent his entire career with Vancouver, 2 years with the Stealth, now 7 with Vancouver. He's a guy that just continues to set franchise records, and another career season for himself with 113 points. Plenty of time tonight to get back into that first position in the league. But when I asked him about his game this year and what's working for him, he had a two-part answer. Number one, Kurt Malosky. He said as soon as Kurt came in, the team just kind of got right on track. The second part of that is the team chemistry. He said he is having a lot of fun with this group. They have bought in to Kurt's systems, and that is what is working right now. But you guys, what are we expecting to see from Ball tonight?
Well, thank you, Olivia. I think we expect probably, 6, 7, 8 points. That's usually what he's been putting up on a game-by-game basis, and he'll need something like that here tonight. As I don't know if we got the complete updated standings yet, but Dane Smith, I believe, put up 6 points tonight. He's up to 118, so that means at least 5 required for Keegan Ball to tie the scoring race, as Teat was held in check here tonight by Halifax. So a chance for Keegan Ball to be atop them all by night's end as far as the scoring race goes, and I wouldn't put it past him with the year that he is having so far, as Jesse King keeps his hot play going as he finds the short side top corner, and we are tied in Vancouver.
Jesse King is awake. We talked about it a little bit in the open, how he was held pointless for just the second time in his career versus the Buffalo Bandits. The only other time that's happened to him in his career, he followed that up with 19 points in his next 3 games. 6 points, 7 points, then 6 points. He's continued that trend. Last weekend versus Halifax, he puts up 6. Now he's already got his first of the evening here tonight.
I'm smelling a podcast invite maybe a week from now, Tino, as Jesse King gets the Warriors on the board here, with his 33rd of the season. And back to center we go here with Columbus and Adler. And had head coach and general manager Kurt Malosky on my podcast this week, Tino, and mentioned that he was a little concerned that they were going to lose Adler here at the end of April, but he has worked out a deal with his work at Disney and ESPN to allow him to stay in Vancouver and finish off the season here with the Warriors, and I know they're happy about that. Here comes Reed Bowery on the run. Look out from behind. Has a good check by Isaiah Davis-Allen to knock that one free, as I don't think Bowery knew he was tracking him down from behind. Everybody was anticipating the return of Alex Stathakis, and it sounds like he may be a little longer than first anticipated. So all the more important that Adler available for Vancouver. Kyle Jackson, feet across. Here's the shot. Del Bianco, no trouble with that one out of the stick of Nielsen. And no rebound available either.
Yeah, just to finish on Max Adler as well, I think it took him a little bit of time to get comfortable in his new role here in Vancouver. Over the first 7 games was just 36.8% average at faceoff dot. His last 5 games, though, Jake, 61.8%.
Yeah, and again, last week against Jake Weathers, not too many people come out on the right side of that matchup, but Max Adler did. How about that handle from King there? Here's another chance. Clearage on the dip and dunk, and David right there to stop that one on close range. Vancouver heating up here a little bit with quality chances on their last few possessions now, but just a 1-1 score as we're across the halfway mark of this opening quarter. Here's Evan Messenger. One-on-one with Kellys. The dirt low for LeClaire. Suba cuts that path off. LeClaire circles high, feeds to Jackson, give and go. LeClaire restraining line high. Quick duck underneath, and Nielsen caught the crossbar there as that one stayed out. That's a good move for Nielsen, down low to get underneath and then to the top of the crease.
And that's the development of Nielsen as well. His bread and butter is the outside shot. Now he gets interior.
There's Curtis Dixon bowling his way right to the front of the goal there, and Doesn't get the ball to go, but does draw a penalty here, as we'll have our first power play of the evening, and it'll go to Vancouver as they come in tonight, ranked 7th in the National Lacrosse League at 45%. But may have a chance here against this 7th-ranked Philadelphia Wings short man unit. And we'll get another look at the penalty call here as Dixon just got ahead of steam. And when he gets going downhill, going to the front of the net, forget it. I don't know. I mean, you almost have to take a penalty to stop him.
I don't think anybody draws more penalties than Curtis Dixon.
Right, that's probably a fair stat right there. Here's King looking for a second, and Damade with a shoulder stop. And quickly back the other way comes the Wings. On the run, shoots it. And a good save there from Del Bianco, a shorthanded effort. Denied from Mitch Armstrong, who showed good speed there. And Vancouver's been, well, they've been the most dangerous team shorthanded. Another chance here, and that one caught the post as Sinfield looking for his second. What are you spotting down on the turf there, Tim?
Yeah, Owen Grant just looked like he got a tough collision. He was grabbing at that right shoulder. He's kind of draping it over right now, and he's gone halfway through the tunnel.
Keep an eye on OG. They do not want to lose him down the stretch, that is for sure, as the power play gets set back up here for the Warriors. Curtis Dixon stepping in. Here's Keegan Ball. He'll fire, scores! 114 for Keegan Ball, and this time it's the goal variety. And Vancouver in front for the first time tonight off a power play goal from 45.
You can see the reaction on Nick Damude there. He's just kind of chuckling to himself. Like, that is the patented Keegan Ball goal. Top of the power play. Nobody's closing the gap on him. So he just says, sure, I'll shoot from here. Why not? And yeah, he's continuing to climb that points race, as you mentioned. I think part of that reaction from Damude is as well. He feels like he probably should have had it. It just goes underneath of his arm. He gets a little piece of it, but the velocity on that release is just a little bit too much.
That's such an excellent shot from the outside. His 40th of the year for Keegan Ball. Like I mentioned, up to 114 now as far as points go. It is 4-3 Calgary leading Colorado and 5-2 Toronto leading Saskatchewan as those two games head into the second half. San Diego and Las Vegas just getting underway from Sin City. And unfortunately for the Desert Dogs, that becomes a bit of a meaningless game as Curtis Dixon with a rare drop there heading to the net. And gets bodied up hard along the corner boards, and Philadelphia will snuff that possession out. As San Diego has clinched a playoff spot with a win by the Georgia Swarm over the Nighthawks, and San Diego winning last night over Las Vegas on their home turf. So our 8 teams are set. Now we got to figure out who's going to play who and where they're going to play those games. We know Vancouver will be here next weekend. Just a question of who their opponent will be and what seed they will be. As Vancouver can still finish first overall, as Owen Grant back out onto the turf. Good sign there for Vancouver. As they look to build on this 2-1 lead. Pass into the middle. And Jesse King might have caught the outside of the iron with that one. A nice loose ball recovery there from Ball. Got tripped up. No arm goes up. And now a battle for the loose ball 2-on-2 is won by Ryan Sheridan. He's got a man open. A little hesitation, couldn't get past his defender. Lots of time on the shot clock. Ball doesn't want to waste any more time. There's a soak from Ryan Wagner, who leads the Wings in block shots. And now Charlene Beatty sent it wide. Rink wide feed for King. Backhand feed for Claridge, and a save for Damude. Once again, as Claridge, all sorts of chances in this opening quarter, but has yet to beat the Wings goaltender. As we go under 5, our second media timeout here in this first quarter. Vancouver in front 2-1. More week 21 in the NLL when we return. NLL's March to May is brought to you by STX Lacrosse and Nike Lacrosse, the official equipment providers of the NLL, and by TFL Sports. Collect the stars of the National Lacrosse League with officially licensed trading cards and sticker albums. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL. Back inside Rogers Arena, we come here on Fan Appreciation. It was also rib night over at the media suite there, Tino. Special treat for sure. As there's an updated look at the game in Calgary. They're tied up at 4 with about 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. Still 5-2 Toronto, an early 2-1 lead for Las Vegas over San Diego. It's 2-1 here in Vancouver with 4:01 to go in this first quarter. Vancouver out shooting the Wings 13-8. And it's Wings possession out of the timeout. Kyle Jackson will walk it in. And Vancouver's top defender and Ryan Dilks watching him. This is Leclerc off the half wall. Subak fighting for position. A rising shot, a good one for Leclerc. A better stop for Del Bianco and another souvenir for a lucky Warriors fan.
It's the same shot they've tried on Del Bianco a couple of times now. They're trying to get over top, trying to get him to go down to a knee and then shoot back in the direction they came from up into the top corner.
Dalton Young working on Charbonneau. A little hesitation. Weak shot. Easily snatched there off the end wall by Del Bianco, and a lead feed here from Matt Beers. Running well for the veteran. Pass across King. Finds Keegan Ball. Loads up. Doesn't shoot it. As Beers will get in a lick, and he'll make the chain. No, he's going to stay out there and play a shift for the second all-time leader in penalty minutes now in the National Lacrosse League, just trailing Billy D. Smith in that department. Ball almost slipped down. Beers will clear through. And a shot clock violation on Vancouver. Beers a chance to run down Billy. Some would have to go pretty sideways here tonight for Beers to eclipse the great Billy D. Smith tonight.
13 penalty minutes away from passing, so by all likelihood, we're waiting until next season for that.
Playoffs, let's not forget. There's good moves up top. Trying to shake rebounding. There's Sinfield. Tuck and go. Sinfield, look to set up the dunk behind the net. I don't think his teammate was quite ready to accept the pass. There's another easy save for Del Bianco. A long lead feed here for Simpson. One-on-one. Does he want to go? Yes, he does. And the shot goes high and wide. All the way back up into the offensive zone is Liam Patton. Corbeil will head for the bench as well, as Kyle Jackson will dash away from Ryan Dilks. Leclerc will get a running start at Owen Grant. Corner feed, 10 on the clock. Subak into his man. Jackson from the point, right on. Del Bianco gives up a read lookout as Subak a little quickly, as Callies was not expecting the pass, but does well to track it down. Back in is Keegan Ball. Under 2 to go here in the first. Ball will find Jesse King. Claridge, a little pick and pop. He's got rim. Good move. Claridge right to the goal, and he shot it wide. Man, oh man, how many chances for Marcus Claridge in this opening quarter?
That's the fourth grade A opportunity by my count, specifically for Marcus Claridge. Clearly, he's got the green light to go.
I should mention, it's Mrs. Claridge, Mama Claridge, celebrating her 60th tonight, and I'm sure here at Rogers Arena to watch her boy. And I'm sure Marcus wants to put on a show for Mama on her birthday. Happy birthday, Mama Claridge. Ball, you want to get that one in there, Tino? Nothing for Mama Claridge? No? Okay.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much. Ball, 8 on the clock. Warriors running out of time. Into the middle comes Ball. And pretty good defensive effort there from Wagner. Big chance for Claridge, easily handled by David. Ryan Wagner, a good year defensively here for Philadelphia, as he leads the team in both block shots and caused turnovers for the Wings. Former Vancouver Stealth, Ryan Wagner. Way back.
2015 draft pick.
Charlene Beatty's with a little room. We'll get around Alex Pace. He'll fire. Kick stop there for Damoud, and crafty play there for Dixon just to play a little possum and let that ball roll towards him. Late in the quarter now, Del Bianco to the bench. 5 to go in the quarter. Got to go to net now. King will load, feet in front, and that one ended up on Damoud as the opening 15 minutes comes to a close. Tight checking, good goaltending, and Nick Damoud, hang on a second here. A little slow to get back to his feet, but looks to be okay. As 15 down, 45 here to go from Rogers Arena in week number 21. Vancouver leads Philly 2-1. Second quarter action from Rogers Arena on the other side when we return. You're watching the National Lacrosse League. Welcome back to Vancouver. Well, not only the final regular season game for both these teams, but also the final regular season game in the career, the 25-year career of Todd LeBranche. Hoping for a couple of playoff games, but full circle here as it comes back to Vancouver and Philadelphia, where he reffed his very first game back in 2001. And here are some of Todd's great calls over the years.
These two are clearly having issues with each other, could not restrain themselves, so we're going to give them 2 minutes to think about what they've done.
Todd LeBranche going off script.
Ottawa 92, minor penalty for play again.
.491 games as Todd recognized here at Rogers Arena for his illustrious career, Tino, and never in the National Lacrosse League, but I've been rung up a few times by the great Todd LeBranche in the summer as well. And what a career, 25 years, 491 games, and hopefully a couple more playoff games before he hangs up the whistle.
Yeah, it's a thankless job being a referee in any sport, really, and he's made some people laugh along the way. So congratulations to Todd LeBranche.
Actually had a chance to be in Colorado for that infamous call that night as well, and just one of the good guys around our league as well. Blow the whistle. Let's play some lacrosse. We're underway here in this second quarter with Vancouver leading the Philadelphia Wings 2-1. And as they did in the first quarter, they'll get possession here to start the second as the teams flip around here at the Raj. Adam Charlene Beatty's with a split dodge to the middle and gets a good look off and a stick save for Damoud. Wings almost knocked for a back in call there. Corbeil with good wheels. Clears the zone and makes the change. I tell you, Vancouver's getting some good looks, but this is really what Nick Damoud has done all season long here, Tino, as goaltending has not been the issue in Philadelphia, as the numbers have been really solid, not only for Damoud, but for Deacon Knott as well, both up over 80% as far as save percentage goes.
Well, this is why Philly went out and got him in the Panther City dispersal draft a couple of years ago. 60 saves last game versus Vegas as well.
Sheridan, backhand feed, ball. Turns the corner, bounces one wide. Can King run it down? Yes, he can. On the right side of center, and still 8 on the clock to work with. Ball a running start, shovel in front, gets through to Claridge, hesitation, stop and go. And the shot off the mark. And look out at center as Grant coming over, closing the gap quickly. And then knocks the ball free, it's on the turf. 2 Warriors and 2 Wings battle for this loose ball, and it's jammed up along the sideboards, and they'll give possession to Vancouver. Another update from the Saddle Dome, as the Roughnecks have just tied things up at 5. Fresh clock to work with here for Vancouver. Jesse King working the 2-man game with Charlene Beatty. Shoots off a stick, didn't get through, gets his own ball back, or almost did. Now he finally collects. Dixon demanding the ball down low. Ball will have a look towards goal. Rips one wide. And Charlambides takes a funny bouncing ball off the... Look out, a spinner right on goal. And Damoud had to take that one off the shoulder. That thing had a little velocity on it.
Almost just had our goal of the year.
Now it's the Wings' turn. Try and tie this game up. A couple of minutes into the second quarter. Lucas Nielsen. The run to the Minto Cup with St. Catharines a year ago in the summer. And that high draft pick for Buffalo, but got to give up something to get something, and they had to part ways, did Philadelphia, with Joe Rezateritz, but they got a guy that's going to wear a Wings uniform, at least we hope they will, for the next 7, 8, 9 years potentially. This could be it here for the Wings as we know it. We hope not, as the league continues to effort new ownership for this franchise. As Delbianco looks to outlet and finds Mitski in the middle. This is Owen Grant with a little room. Ducks underneath. Owen Grant scores! Oh, Jake with a beauty. And it's 3-1 Warriors.
Goal scoring has been down a little bit for Owen Grant this season compared to last, but that does not mean his overall production has been down. He's always going to be a transition threat just with the style of play and with how this Warriors team is built, and he's now rewarded in back-to-back games. He scored a big goal for Van last weekend against Halifax. He gets right back to the scoring this time around, going a little bit airborne and just hammering that underneath of Nick Damoud, and the Warriors continue to pour it on.
Just the 5th of the year for Owen Grant, but that's a nice one right there, and kind of half transition for the reigning transition player of the year. Adler and Columbus back in the small circle. This time Bo Columbus with the win, but a good stick check from Bowering gives the possession right back to Vancouver here as a trip from behind. That's going to get called. As King races onto a loose ball and Christian Delbianco races to the Vancouver bench. And down goes Jesse King now as his feet got tangled up, and I think Jesse looking for a second penalty call here, but it'll be just Chris Corbeil that takes a seat in the sin bin here in Vancouver. Another chance on the man advantage where they got their first goal of the game.
And that's a big loss for Philly too. Chris Corbeil is one of their key penalty killers, but they'll be without him for 2 minutes or less here, and Jesse King will try to get a little bit of vengeance himself.
One of the best leaders in the National Lacrosse League ever in Chris Corbeil, Captain Canada as well. You know when you're getting the C slapped on you for Team Canada, you know what you're doing in the leadership department. Ball from the point. Dixon a push into the middle. Here's Keegan Ball, skip it. Charlambides in behind the rack now, trying to set up Sheridan. Dixon shooting. That one deflected. King has a go. Easy save for Damoud. Wagner shoved back into the crease. A well-timed cross-check. Will give another possession here to Vancouver. We'll get the quick whistle as they get set back up in that horseshoe formation. Ball. Taunting the defenders. Dixon, a subber, didn't get through again. It's another shot block there. Now a little space here for Keegan Ball. Stepping down. Fire, scores! Tack another one on to the totals for Keegan Ball. And the Vancouver Warriors up by 3.
So he'll be up to 2 points now, and the watch continues, and it's another power play goal. Philly made an adjustment as Ball started at the point, but they were jumping early, which is, I think, kind of what they wanted to game plan for in the first place. But this is what you get when you have a star-studded power play like what Vancouver has. Then they make the adjustment to go over to Curtis Dixon, which opens up Keegan Ball again, and again, he just hammers it with a perimeter shot.
He is just so accurate with that outside shot, and it's not by accident. This guy works on it on a daily basis, and he does so around 5 a.m. in the morning with Christian Delbianco and others here of this Vancouver team, and just shot after shot, repetition after repetition, and pays off when it comes to game time. Claridge feeds Dixon, lean out through the crease and couldn't tuck it in. Wings, after scoring the first goal of the game, have now surrendered 4 straight here to Vancouver and are being outshot 21-10. Young. Jackson searching for a lane. Del Bianco down in the butterfly, and that's what makes, I mean, there's a lot of things that make Christian Del Bianco good, but one of those skills is his rebound control, or lack thereof. I mean, there's just not a lot of rebounds that come off his pads.
And the communication when he's making a save too. He's the first one to point out where that ball is or where he wants that ball to be going. It opens things up for their defense in their transition.
And that starts the transition in lightning fashion, as well as here comes Patton in transition, feeds off to the crease, and good stick there from King to break that up. Now Jackson hammered down from behind. No arm goes up there on Beers, who's laying on top of Kyle Jackson now. Subak over to help out. King comes away with the loose ball. 8 seconds to get it up and across center, and he'll have a free clear. Running well, maybe numbers here for Vancouver now. Ball is open, feet in front. Dixon again just off the tip of his stick. There's maybe a little case there thinking what he was going to do with the shot before securing the catch. Good battle here for a loose ball, and it's won by Alex Pace.
That's a good play by Claridge as well. He doesn't come up with the ball, but he slows down Philly's opportunity to go, with Vancouver having had King stuck on the floor again for a moment.
7-5 Toronto, 5-5 in Calgary. Patton feeds off, good jab step. Sinfield will pass it off. Here's Messenger and a dart low. Callies does well. Ball deflected by a good stick of Bowering. Callie's a lead feed, look out, Bowering will, he'll get hammered there by Patton. He'll bounce right back up. And the arm will go up here for Todd LeBranche. He was gonna send Patton to the penalty box should Vancouver fail to score. Got his head turned around in time, but Patton stepped right into him with a stiff shoulder check there. Here's King. Backdoor feed, spike it low for Sheridan, can't get it to go, and here's the whistle from Todd LeBranche. Sure, we'll get another look at this. That's a hard hit in the open floor from Liam Patton. Beers over task for maybe a little bit more than just 2.
Philadelphia number 12, minor penalty, illegal body check. Timeout.
Illegal body check the call. Vancouver power play when we return. They lead the Wings 4-1. 8.5 here to go in the second. This is week 21 of the National Lacrosse League.
This is the moment you waited all week for. It's Friday night. Whether you're at home or out on the town, it all starts here.
No, he didn't!
The weekend starts here
Oh, what a move!
with NLL Friday night on TSN.
Welcome back to Rogers Arena with the Warriors leading the Wings 4-1. Jake Elliott, Santino Farah, and back down between the benches we go to the hardest working woman in sports, Olivia McDonald.
Jake, you flatter me. And you know what, Jake, Tino, you guys actually touched on this a little bit earlier, but I think tonight we have ourselves a little bit of a goaltending battle. Take a look back at the last 2 games for these 2 teams. Starting with the Wings, Nick DeMood stopped 60 of 65 shots faced against Las Vegas, setting that franchise record in saves to help grab that win. And on the other side, Christian Del Bianco was the difference maker for Vancouver versus Halifax, turning away 41 of 48 shots. I talked to Christian Del Bianco earlier today about DeMood, actually, and he said, you know what, he is a steady goaltender. But you could say the same about Christian. When I asked Christian what's kind of working in his game right now, of course, he's giving credit to his team, but especially those veteran defenders. Guys, what do you think about the goaltending tonight? Are we going to have a low-scoring game?
It looks to be the case, and of course, with Philadelphia without their, thanks Olivia, without their top 2 scorers here tonight, the task becomes even taller. And then you add in this rough and tumble veteran defensive unit, and then if you can get past those guys, oh yeah, you got to go up against the MVP and Christian Del Bianco, who, again, just game after game, year after year, the numbers are always going to be right around under 10 as far as the goals against and right over 80 as far as the save percentage goes.
Yeah,
like clockwork.
The offense as well for Christian Del Bianco. He's stuck on 16 assists right now, but I mean, if he gets a couple points tonight, he's going to be a point per game player as a goaltender.
Pretty good. Pretty good for the phenom Christian Del Bianco. Vancouver still with 70 seconds to work with here on their power play. As Ball with a couple of power play goals. Curtis Dixon will have a look. Demuth a piece of that one and a big ricochet out near center. Jesse King will calmly let that one come back across center. As off the wings goaltender, no over impact there. Around the horn it'll go. You know they'd like to get Sheridan a couple more if they can, but I also think everybody's pretty aware of what's on the line for Keegan Ball here tonight as a chance to be the league's leading scorer at the end of the night.
Don't forget, too, Ryan Sheridan, former teammates with Nick Demuth over in Panther City, so might have the book on him a little bit, but right now it's the goaltender with the upper hand.
Wings will try and kill off the remaining time in the penalty as we go under 7 minutes to go here in this second quarter. And just the one goal here for Philadelphia. Oh, look out, a little bit of an ankle breaker there on Bowering as Del Bianco outlets quickly here to Cornwall. But we're talking 6.5 minutes to go here in this half. And Philadelphia, 12 shots so far here tonight. That's not going to get the job done. Claridge, he's got to be close to 12 shots of his own here in this first half. Turnover here, however, on Charlene Beatties. A race ahead for Patton. He'll fire, and that one's wide by about 6 inches. A nice loose ball for Jackson. And he'll settle things down here for the Wings offense. Dilks will take a swipe. Jackson will spin it around here for Sinfield. Into the corner it comes. Rink wide. Evan Messenger in a reaching shot. Can't get it past Del Bianco and Matt Beers. An excellent loose ball there and an outlet into the middle of the floor. A nice catch on the run for Owen Grant as Subak will clear away. Grant, no lane to the goal. So give it to your top scorer in Keegan Ball as he'll sidestep his way down the half wall. Comes back to the near side for Jesse King with 10 on the clock. Dixon a stutter step into the middle. Rising shot just missed. King trying to save the possession at center, can't do it. Philadelphia ball, 5:28 here to go to recess. Wagner will head for the bench. So on comes Travis Longboat. He'll get a look, and Del Bianco just enough of that one. King, who's been out there forever, I'm not sure how he's still got gas in the tank, but he'll slow up across center. Longboat, good to see him back playing ball after running into some injury trouble. And looks like he's found a home here with the Wings. Dixon. In some traffic here, tried to shovel that ball off the ball, and it's on the deck. And the shot clock down to 0 here on Vancouver. And we're under 5, which means our final media timeout here before halftime. Vancouver still leading by 3 over the Wings of Philadelphia. They're out shooting them 24-14. Back with the finish of this first half of Week 21 of the National Lacrosse League. Welcome back to Rogers Arena as the lights come back up inside the barn here as teams making their way back out onto the turf with Vancouver leading 4-1 here over the Wings. And if they can hang on for another 35 minutes or so, Santino, this man right here, Kurt Malowski, will move ahead of the great Darius Kilgore, who sits in third right now. He passed Mike Hazen a week ago, a chance to pass Darius Kilgore. I'm not sure he's going to be able to run down Eddie Como or Derek Keenan anytime soon, but a chance to move into third here for the great Kurt Malowski.
Yeah, especially with Eddie Como getting another win earlier today. He's got a chance to get another one to get himself up to 152. But, I mean, what can you say about Kurt Malowski that hasn't already been said? He's the ultimate winner. He gets everything out of his athletes consistently, and guys love to play for him.
Jammer in action with Saskatchewan here tonight as well. We'll keep you posted on those two games as we move along throughout the evening. As Philadelphia on the attack as we go into the final 4:20 of this opening half. Jackson on Beers, good backdoor cut. Delbienko with a shoulder stop, his best to the game. Quick look in to the Saddle Dome. Colorado still leading the Roughnecks here 6-5. 7-5 your score. Toronto leading Saskatchewan. Both just starting the fourth quarter. Marcus Claridge, Jesse King, backdoor feed, Keegan Ball, hat trick in the first half, and the points keep on coming.
Another one that Daymud gets a piece of, but it's not enough. And you know that Keegan Ball's teammates know exactly what they're doing. They're looking for 45. His third goal, it's his third point overall. Now it puts him up to 116. So he's ahead of Jeff Teat for second in the league. He's too shy of tying Dane Smith. And that's just, I mean, that's not the prototypical Keegan Ball goal where he works down low. That's a bit of an unorthodox one for him, but Jesse King, one of the best feeders in the league, finds him in the right spot.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's almost the least likely type of goal that Keegan Ball scores on a quick stick like that. Usually he's either setting him up or launching or driving across the top of the crease. But that one just a little quick stick off a nice little setup there, but you know, I will also say that the points record and all that, probably the furthest thing from Keegan Ball's mind. He's not a guy that worries about any of that type of stuff, but you know his teammates know the scenario and they want to get him that scoring type. Shot blocked. Adler in the way of that one as he takes a defensive shift here. Now Delbienko's got a man open at center, caught there by Simpson, as O'Toole had to hang on to Keegan Ball to make sure there was no too many men there, as Ball was eager to get to the turf in transition. Charlin Beatties finds his man Dixon. He'll dart low, ducks under a check, lost the handle, Pace has it. And three wide here for the Wings as they cross center. On the run, Pat, he's in there, and that one caught the far pipe. Subak will wrangle up a loose ball. Again, Ball off the bench quickly. Here's Charlin Beatties with some space. And Vancouver will settle down a possession as Subak hustles to the bench. The Roughnecks have tied things up at 6. The Rush have drawn within 1 on the Rock. Keegan Ball will stick the Rock to the back of the net for his 4th of the evening. Wow.
And a natural hat trick as well. All 3 of those goals coming in this quarter. He just continues to pour it on, and this one, it's another perimeter. He gets back to that bread and butter and goes glove side over Nick Daymud. So he's now up to 4 points. Climb continues here in Van City there, Jumbo.
As Patty Gregoire likes to say, Barb Mexico on that one. 43 on the year for Keegan Ball. 4 here in the half. And now closing in on the Great Dane as far as the overall scoring leader goes. And more importantly than any of that, Vancouver now with a 5-goal lead. After giving up the first of the game to Landon Sinfield, it's 6 straight here for Vancouver as we approach the 2-minute mark here to go to halftime. And this is the response that the Warriors were looking for in their final regular season home game. As 7-2, and there's another. Are you kidding me? Heat check for 45. He's got another.
So count it up to 4 in a row for Keegan Ball. He is now tied Dane Smith. If he gets one more point, it's his.
When, Tino, when he gets one more. You're not stopping this guy tonight.
We're still in the first half of this game, and he's already done this kind of damage. And we're seeing it all over now. We're seeing it inside. We're seeing it perimeter. We're seeing special teams. Keegan Ball is going to the goal hard here, and who knows what he's going to finish with at this point. My, oh my.
Well, the other thing we're seeing is a goaltending change here for Ian Rubel, as out comes Nick Damoud, in comes Deacon Knott. And I don't know how much you can put on Damoud in that scenario there. This was always going to be a tough game here for Philly. You know, with the injury troubles they've had, the season they've had to come across the country against one of the top teams in the league, this was going to be a tall order here to try and beat Vancouver. And Vancouver flexing their muscles here in this opening half with 7 straight goals now, 5 of them courtesy of Keegan Ball.
And it's not even just that it's Vancouver as a top team, it's a motivated top team. They know there's a lot at stake here tonight, even though they're already locked into a home playoff game.
Well, they know there's a chance here is into the back of the net. That's a beautiful shot for Leclerc. And Philadelphia finally snaps the run here, but again, the scenario plays out like this. Vancouver wins, they finish in second, no worse than second. If they win and Colorado loses, and by the way, it's 6-6 at the Saddle Dome coming down the stretch of the fourth quarter there, Vancouver can still get top spot in the standings and have home floor throughout the entire playoffs. So lots to play for here for the Warriors.
And that is just a great shot from Sam Leclerc. A lot of that is created from the Evan Messenger pick as well. He took the 2 defenders away from that high side. It allowed time and space for Sam Leclerc to be able to turn and fire.
Solid year for Leclerc, getting his 13th goal of the year, up to 38 points as well for the right-hander. I think he's one of those young guys on that Philly offense you can really kind of build around for this franchise as well. And ball comes free, and Philadelphia has it. Columbus running in, and you can tell he kind of took that shot with a face-off stick. Not great.
Just hammered into the turf.
Looking 5-hole. Back out he comes. Keegan Ball on the turf. Red hot is that golden stick of 45. Jesse King, Charlotte Beatties, one more. Here he is, Keegan Ball. Oh, he put it right on, and Deacon Knott equal to the task on his first test. Into the final minute here of this opening half. Fan appreciation night at the Raj, and they've packed in here 10K strong to watch their Warriors. Leclerc on the run again. Turns the corner, Leclerc over top of the crossbar. That one hit the official off the end wall. Fortunate bounce for the Wings, but through the crease and first to touch. Quick outlet to Owen Grant. Can't work the 2-on-1 or 2-for-1 possession here, so they'll work a full 30, will the Warriors, and they're going to call a timeout before they do so. Can't take it to the locker room with you, Santino, so Kurt Malowski calls timeout here for Vancouver, and got about a 6-second differential between game clock and shot clock. I wouldn't expect them to pull the goaltender by any means here. They'll just work for a good set play, and I'm sure Bobby McMahon will have something to say about that. As coming up on the game halftime, we'll have scores from around the league, first half highlights as well, and we'll playoff talk coming up all on the game halftime here, as we're just 28 seconds away from that. And I don't know if that black suit, blue shirt, blue tie combination is going anywhere anytime soon for Kurt Malowski. That has been a winning combination for the head coach down there, and I wouldn't say he's a superstitious fellow, even though he probably is. More routine-based, and he's not taking that suit off anytime soon. As another look into Colorado, and just get an update as they're coming down the stretch in the fourth quarter from the Saddle Dome. And look at this, Tino, the Calgary Roughnecks. We saw Oshawa beat Buffalo earlier tonight. I'm not sure how many people had that on the bingo card. And now the first place Colorado Mammoth down a goal in the fourth quarter as Tyler Pace with his 30th has put the Roughnecks in front.
And remember, for the Warriors fans watching, that is big for Vancouver. If they are able to come out with a win here tonight against Philly, and if Calgary takes down Colorado, that would mean Vancouver finishes first overall.
And not that I don't want you watching the game halftime here, but when we get to break, you should be able to catch the finishes of both the Saskatchewan-Toronto game and the Colorado-Calgary game, and then get back in time for second half action here in Vancouver. Put on the multi-view. How about that? Down to 2 on the shot clock. And they tried to set one up for Keegan Ball. And maybe a late chance now for the Wings. They got a man in behind everybody. Oh, the catch, scores! KJ with 1.9 to go, and that's a huge goal there for Philadelphia off the turnover. The Wings spark transition, and Kyle Jackson, under 2 seconds to go, makes it 7-3.
And that's big for Philly's morale heading into the halftime break as well. The hill to climb might feel like it's a bit of a mountain, but just to be able to get one back and change the mindset a little bit, that's big for them. And this is a feisty team. Just because they're so far down in the standings and they're looking towards next year's draft, that doesn't mean that they're giving up in this game by any means. So that's a big goal for Philadelphia.
Kurt Malowski, Rob Williams, and Bob McMahon will not like that late goal one bit from the Philadelphia Wings, and I'm sure that will be addressed at halftime, no question. But we are through 30 minutes here from Vancouver. 10 goals on the board, 7 for Vancouver, 3 for Philadelphia. And Olivia McDonald will try and wrangle up a Warrior before we head to break here on Fan Appreciation Night. Again, Calgary in front by 1, Toronto leading by 2. Both those games under 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. As I think Liv, who's she gonna get? Why not? Let's wrangle up the league's leading scorer as we're just about ready to go down to the turf. Maybe a quick takeaways from that opening half, Tino, before we get down to Liv.
Keegan Ball is the takeaway. He is tied right now with Dane Smith and 1 away.
All right, let's go down to Olivia and Keegan down on the turf.
Keegan, 5 goals for yourself in that first half, and you guys are leading by 4 going into this second. What do you like most about your team's effort?
I think we got a lot more to give than that. I think we're a little bit disappointed in that half, and I think we just need a little bit more jam.
Well, what's the key to generating more offense in that second half then?
I think we need to move our feet. I think we're a little bit too stagnant right now. Our shots have been falling, but I think we just have more to give.
All right, Keegan, well, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Thanks, Olivia. Thanks, Keegan. I mean, there is one motivated lacrosse player. A 4-goal lead, 5 goals in that opening half, and not satisfied in the least. As Vancouver out shooting Philadelphia 28-19, they lead them 7-3. The game halftime is next here from Vancouver. Welcome back to the game. Halftime here from Vancouver. Jake Elliott, Santino Farah, Olivia McDonald down between the benches. And Tino, it was a lot of Vancouver and a little bit of Philadelphia in there. They got the first one, they got the last one. But Vancouver in the middle goes on a 7-goal run, and courtesy of the league's leading scorer, Keegan Ball, who had 5, including 4 in a row in that opening half.
Yeah, I mean, like, what can't Keegan Ball do at this point? Like we talked about already, it's the variety of goals that he's scoring inside, some unorthodox ones that he doesn't typically go for on that quick stick from Jesse King, the outside on the power play as well. Like, he has been the dynamic individual right now for Vancouver, and everything from 45 is falling.
Began on the power play with a couple of outside rips. He mentioned there's that quick stick goal down low for Keegan Ball, but you know, he's done it in a variety of different ways here, not only tonight for Vancouver, but really all season long. And with the additions of Curtis Dixon and Jesse King, you kind of wondered, would he still be the heartbeat of this Vancouver offense? I think we got our answer here, not only this season, but tonight in particular, as he's really steering the ship.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You hear his comments when he was talking with Olivia as well. Like, he's not happy with the team's performance. Yes, their production is good. Yes, the shots are falling. You can be pleased with that, but it's that what's next kind of mentality, and they still have some more to give going into the second half, as he mentioned.
Well, one of the guys that was really instrumental in allowing Vancouver to go on that 7-goal run, and we could probably do this the game halftime here, but Christian Delbianco just allowing 3, one of them coming with under 2 seconds to go in the half. Exceptional again in that opening 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think Philly thought that they had a bit of a book on Christian Delbianco, as we mentioned some of those shots that he was seeing in the early goings of this, where Philly is getting over top and they're shooting back across in the same direction that they came from. But Christian Delbianco has been outstanding, right? He's seeing the ball really well, he's throwing the ball really well, and you just kind of see these numbers falling all over in Vancouver's favor. I mean, even the face-off battle has been pretty even here, 6-5 in favor of Philly, but you're still seeing Max Adler get 5 of those wins, power play goals as well. It's just everything right now is going in favor of the Warriors.
Well, a couple of big games going on in both Saskatchewan and Calgary as we speak as well. Those are coming down the stretch. The second half is coming up here from Vancouver. We'll have more the game halftime when we return to Rogers Arena, week 21 of the National Lacrosse League. Back in beautiful Vancouver as the Dogs are having a little fun on the turf. The Dogs are having some fun down in Las Vegas as well as they got a lead on San Diego. But it's the game halftime here in Vancouver. It's Jake Elliott at Santino Ferro with you up here in the Jim Robson broadcast gondola. And Tino, 7-3 at the half here. We're going to put up the graphics and show you the updated, well, we know this. We know the 8 teams that have qualified for the postseason. We still know 2 games are going on right now. But if the season ended today, right now, before these other 2 games are over, these are what the playoff matchups would look like. Now, keep in mind, it's probably going to change. But right now, Vancouver poised to face San Diego. I believe Calgary, with about 3-4 minutes to go, have a 2-goal lead on the Colorado Mammoth. So all this could be thrown right in the trash, Tino, and we have to build out a brand new graphic. But we do know the 8 teams that are going to dance in the postseason.
And if this would be the case, I mean, this would be some electric matchups. Like, we all know how heated it gets when Vancouver and San Diego meet each other. Just look back to the regular season game they played earlier this year. Toronto-Buffalo, are you kidding me? Another playoff meeting between them. It's like, I almost wanted to stay as it is.
A rematch of the 2017 finals with Saskatchewan and Georgia, of course, as well. And Halifax has got in as they beat Ottawa earlier today, as well as we'll get a look at around the league scoring. So that Georgia win over Rochester eliminates Las Vegas. That win for the Halifax Thunderbirds over Ottawa punches their ticket. And a big win for Oshawa on a special night there in Dyson Williams' hometown of Oshawa on Tucker out Lymphoma night over the Buffalo Bandits. I know that was a real emotional night for not only the Williams family but the Firewolves, and they get it done over the Bandits. And 9-6 Vegas leading San Diego in a bit of a meaningless game. I don't know if anything is that in the National Lacrosse League, but good for Vegas to try and close one out on their home floor. And the most important 2 scores you see there at the top of your screen with Toronto leading Saskatchewan and Calgary leading Colorado, those will have big-time implications on how things shake out.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it already. We'll continue to say it all night. The Vancouver fans right now are cheering for Calgary. If Calgary can sneak out this win versus Colorado and Vancouver wins, Vancouver finishes first overall.
They have never done that in their franchise existence, finished first overall in the regular season. A quick look at the updated standings before we get you to break, and there you see it. What a season it's been as far as the parity goes. At not only the top of the standings, but near the bottom as well. It's been a real fun year in the National Lacrosse League.
Yeah, and how about the schedule makers as well? I know, of course, Vegas is out of it, but the fact that it worked out San Diego and Vegas playing a home-and-home to end out the season, as well as Rochester and Georgia, like, you can't write a better story to end out the season.
Yeah, of course. Don't forget, Rochester and Georgia wrap up their regular season tomorrow in the National Lacrosse League. Quick break. We're back with the start of the second half after this. Welcome back to Vancouver as we're just about set to start the second half here between the Warriors and Wings, with Vancouver leading by 4. And they are really in the thick of it, both at the Saddle Dome and SaskTel Center now. Saskatchewan has tied things up with Toronto, and it's a timeout out on the floor with 24 seconds to go, and I believe it's Saskatchewan's possession. The Roughnecks still leading Colorado by 1 with a minute to play in Calgary. We begin the second half here in Vancouver. Blow the whistle. Let's play some lacrosse. We'll keep you posted in the big finishes for those 2 games. Keegan Ball, unbelievable in that opening half with 5 goals. As now he tries to set up Charlene Beatties, who will have to run it down the corner. Jesse King will do that. A feed in front for Claridge, who was ultra dangerous in that first half, but failed to find the back of the goal. Little swim move, ball right to the goal, and he put it off the post as Deacon Knott starts the second half here for the Wings as he came in relief of Damoud late in that first half.
And remember, when Deacon Knott came in, the first shooter he saw was Keegan Ball, and that theme continues here early in the third.
That might have been Ball's best chance at the game right there, as Del Bianco gets enough of that one to keep it out. Cornwall will clean up the loose ball. I believe they're off to overtime in Saskatchewan. And a timeout on the turf in Calgary. Vancouver making changes. Out comes the offense with a 4-goal lead. Curtis Dixon held goalless in that opening half. I would not expect that to be the case here in half number 2. Charlene Beatty's a good pick. Opens up King. Down to the crease. Oh, there would take clip it! And then some action after that goal from Charlene Beatty. And look out here. Everybody into it in the far corner. But I believe Adam Charlene Beatty's airborne when that ball went into the goal. We'll, of course, get another couple of looks at it here. But the setup from King over the shoulder and then the finish from Charlene Beatty's. Let's watch it again on the replay.
Yeah, and Philly's watching it again right now on the replay as well. They're going to decide if they want to challenge it or not. The call on the field was a good goal.
And I don't know what Charlene Beatty's really supposed to do there. He's in the air and gets shoved from behind right into the Wings goaltender. And I mean, he tried to get away from Deacon Knott, but I believe that ball was in the net by the time Charlene Beatty's landed in the crease. We'll see.
Yeah, and the lip readers of the lacrosse fans, I think you could probably tell that's what Charlene Beatty's is saying in that pile. Like, what do you want me to do here? But that's just an unbelievable pass from Jesse King. That's a crazy finish from Charlene Beatty's. And the Warriors start off on the right foot.
Here comes Todd LeBranche to make the call, but Corbeil will get in a couple of words before all of that happens. But well, let's go down to the turf.
The call on the play is a good goal. However, there is goaltender interference after the play by Vancouver number 8. Minor penalty to number 8 Vancouver.
Okay, so they're going to call this a good goal for Adam Charlene Beatty's, but also give Adam Charlene Beatty's a goaltender interference penalty. And I get it, like the reaction from the Philly defense that you want to protect your goaltender and kind of go to bat for him. But when it's your own team that shoves you into your own goaltender, I don't know how that can be goaltender interference. I'm not sure what Adam Charlene Beatty's is really supposed to do in that situation. I don't think he was able to not make contact with the goaltender, but it was because of a Wings defender.
So here's the thing. I completely agree with that take. The only thing here from the officials' perspective is I think this is them trying to maintain control of this game. You have a team in Philly, you know, I don't want to say getting blown out, but everything's going in Vancouver's favor right now, and then they get contact with their goaltender. Yes, it was initiated by the Philly defenders in general, but I think if there's no call to be made there, I think you're probably seeing some more fireworks initiated by Philly.
And I think that's a bit of an interesting call. Is Ian Rubel not happy as he kind of waves McCready away and says, let me handle this here. But to have the fact that the goal will stand, but then it's also a penalty to the team that scored the goal, I think is a bit of a unique situation here.
Yeah, the interesting part is that it's the call is goaltender interference. I mean, if the goaltender interference, you would think that means that the goal is disallowed. If it's a roughing penalty afterwards, then maybe that's a little more understandable. But regardless, the goal is the goal, and Adam Charlene Beatty's will have to spend some time in the sin bin.
So it's Vancouver's first penalty of the night. They are in overtime in Saskatchewan. And it's Rush possession here as they're coming down the final 48 seconds, and the Rush just win in OT as I believe it's Brock Haley, the overtime hero, and the Rush win in overtime over Toronto. So one is the final, the other one into the final minute. And here come the Wings on the man advantage. Nielsen will set things up here for Philly. Kyle Jackson, who had that buzzer beater at the end of the first half, and there's Lucas Nielsen, who starts the second half off well here for the Wings as they get a power play goal. It took 27 seconds, and Lucas Nielsen keeps his hot play going.
Yeah, Lucas Nielsen, I mean, he had a career night last week in the win at home, and he's got the game-winning goal in Philly's last 2 straight games. The release point on this one is interesting because he's coming over top, and I think he's trying to sell that he's going low to the corner, but kind of gets that mid-range past the glove of Christian Del Bianco, and now Philly's got a little more confidence.
Well, Vancouver, I'm not sure they're going to find out. I'm sure somebody will alert them, and not that it's going to change the way they play or it doesn't really matter, but I can tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. It has gone final at the Roughhouse, and the Roughnecks have beat the Colorado Mammoth 9-8. So with a victory here in this second half for Vancouver, they will finish first overall. Still work to be done. 13 minutes to go in the third quarter and a 4-goal lead. But an opportunity is right in front of their face now. There's Jackson. Way outside, feed low. Del Bianco playing the dunk, and he's got the stick save on the crease call anyways. Lead feed, Simpson in behind everybody. Shane Simpson, and a save there for Deacon Knott. Always dangerous is Shane Simpson in transition. This time Deacon Knott had the answer. What a wild night in the NLL in week 21. Oshawa beats Buffalo. Calgary beats Colorado.
Oh, Colby Bowman, too.
Unbelievable. 1 goal in his relief outing a week ago. 47 saves. First star tonight for Colby Bowman. Well, we focus our attention here to Vancouver now. And a lot on the left. Jesse King over the shoulder, and Deacon Knott with his best stop. Wow. It remains 8-4. Nice little pride check there. How about that strip for Owen Grant? Now 3 Wings back. We'll find out Sherlin Beatty's high. On will come Ryan Sherry. Dixon will take the pass from him. Here's King. Claridge. Feet in front. Sherlin Beatty's too near the crease. Back it goes to Claridge. Jab step into the middle. Can't pull the trigger. Dixon will. That shot blocked. Claridge knocked down hard. And the shot clock down to 0. Good defensive stand there from the Wings.
And again, it's another good read on the loose ball by Curtis Dixon. It was similar to how we saw in that second quarter as well on a play that Marcus Claridge made. Curtis Dixon knows that he's got some tired forwards on the floor with him, and Philly has a chance to go in transition. Dixon isn't trying to pick up that ball. He's just trying to delay Philadelphia.
Wings trying to cut the lead to 3 here as Nielsen's got the latest for Philly. Pass to the crease. Here's the chance. Scores. Oh, pick and roll worked perfectly. And is it Young on the finish? I believe it is. And the Wings look out, are within 3.
Yeah, Kurt Malowski and co, they're going to be a little bit frustrated with how things are going right now to kick things off. It's not time to panic, but they got to get back to how they were settled in to their flow state in that first half. Lucas Nielsen's going to get another point on this, but it's the pick initially set by the goal scorer Dalton Young. He creates that space, he goes to the goal, and the pass is perfectly placed into his stick for the young rookie in Philadelphia.
You just never know in this league. Anybody on any given night can beat anybody, and that has been proven more than once here this evening, and Philadelphia will not go away quietly into the night here. They are within 3 of the Warriors here, and plenty of time left in this game. And they come up with a possession after the goal. (31-24) your shots on net. in favor of Vancouver. They're set up defensively, and here comes the Wings offense. Late man coming on is Kyle Jackson. Sinfield will send it across to Leclerc, and into the corner it goes. Circling up is Nielsen. The shot over the top missed everything. Ball bouncing around, and Bowering will gather in. A long feed up to Simpson is on the mark, and he'll step across the center stripe. Here comes Keegan Ball. 5 out of the 8 here for the Warriors tonight. Claridge. Sherlambides wants it, gets it. He'll dart low, looking for a seal there from King, gets it. Near side to Ball with 10 on the clock. Keegan Ball, an inside roll, leans in, feet to the crease. Curtis Dixon! That's a big one from Superman to restore the 4-goal lead. Just parked himself on the crease and reaches for that far top corner.
And look who gets the primary assist. It'll be Keegan Ball with his 119th point of the season. And look how little room Dixon has here, but he has the wherewithal to stand up on his tippy toes and get it over that Deacon Knott shoulder. That's a big sigh of relief now for Vancouver.
And I think that should just do it here for Keegan Ball. Unless Ryan Lanchbury does something absolutely insane in his final game tomorrow, Keegan Ball should be your NLL's leading scorer in 2026. As this time he sets one up for Curtis Dixon. 9-5 Vancouver, under 10 to go here in the third. And Owen Grant right down Main Street. Look out, 3 Wings after the ball carrier and Grant. And he just leaves him in his dust with a beautiful button hook there. On comes King. Sherlambides will head across the floor and join him. Claridge late man. Right across the top, right on into the logo of Deacon Knott. And the ball will roll back into the crease of Knott. He'll get it to Isaiah Davis-Allen. And move it on up as the Wings offense back to the turf. Messenger. Feet across Nielsen. Saw some spot duty with the Buffalo Bandits. Just had a hard time working himself into that lineup with all the talent that the Bandits have. Here's a chance, Cornwall down to the crease, rebounding off the post. Close chance there for Vancouver, but just looks so much more comfortable and confident being a more consistent contributor here for the Wings.
Yeah, it's opportunity, right? Like he was the man at the junior A level with the New Westminster Salmon Bellies. You're not going to get an opportunity like that when you're deep in the lineup in Buffalo. Now he's getting those opportunities in Philly.
Ball tried to sneak one under the glove of Knott. Almost had his pocket picked, trying to fish that ball back into his crease. Vancouver up to 35 shots on net now. They're well up over 60 a week ago against Halifax. Not sure they're going to reach that plateau here tonight. They may not need to. Jackson, hesitation. Beers step for step and then blocks the shot. Charbonneau a little kick. Beers says, I can do that too. As they won't be playing any World Cup soccer in this building, Tino, but right across the street. In a couple of months from now, the world will be watching. We're under 10 to go, 9-5 Vancouver here in the third quarter of week 21 of the NLL.
This is the moment you waited all week for. It's Friday night. Whether you're at home or out on the town, it all starts here.
No, he didn't!
The weekend starts here
Oh, what a move!
with NLL Friday night on TSN.
This season, the NLL is proud to offer a wooden stick signed by your favorite team. The sticks were handcrafted by Indigenous artisans Delby Powless and Tuscarora Woodworks. For your chance to win a one-of-a-kind collectible, head to NLL.com to bid today. Bidding closes Monday, April 27th. Now, I did get to speak with Christian Del Bianco a little bit earlier on this, and he said, of course, it's really cool, especially to get one signed by your favorite team, but not just that. He said that these wooden handcrafted sticks are the perfect reminder of where the game came from. He also reminded me that some of these are actually still in use. I mean, guys, you've probably seen them in some summer ball.
Indeed, we have, Olivia. I may have a few hanging up in my living room and another couple of more in the corner of my bedroom. You know, as I've created a little collection of woodies for myself, but I can tell you those things are beautiful. They're handcrafted. There's history behind them, and each team has put one up. They're all signed by the teams, and there's some good deals out there. You're looking at $200-300 normally to get one of these. You can bid on these things, and some of them are still around $100-120. So do not delay and get in on this and take a little piece of history home with you for Delby and the Tuscarora Nation as well.
And it's so cool just to have that piece of history like in your hands, to be able to see it that close. It's just unbelievable.
Back underway we go here from the Raj. Kyle Jackson looking for a pick. 10 on the clock. Corner feed. Back door. There's a chance, and there's the stop for Del Bianco as he contorts his body to keep that one out. And my groin a little tender after watching that save. I don't know how he does it. A battle for the ball in the corner, and nicely won there by Philly, but they almost turn it over. Sinfield gets obliterated by Reese Callies, and then it'll be a possession call for the Wings.
That is a bit of a size mismatch. Reese Callies standing 6'6", Landon Sinfield down 6 inches on him.
And now what do we got? Moving screen on the far side of the floor. Lead feed here for Jackson. Subak looking for his first, scores! Clip it for Subi! Excuse me, I don't think that is his first goal of the year as I butcher that one. But first one here at Rogers Arena, if I can say that. How about that from Jackson Subak?
He is just a beloved teammate in that room, and it's funny, like my first look was over at the Vancouver Crease to see Christian Del Bianco's reaction, and he's just making some noise with his pad. Jackson Subak, he's usually getting it done with the cross checks, with the fisticuffs. Now he gets going on the scoring as well. And look at how fired up he gets.
I don't know why I get so excited for Jackson Subak goal chances, but man, oh man, on the run, finds the 5-hole. That was a beauty there from 37. Well done. 10-5 Warriors after that big juice goal from the hulking defender, Jackson Subak. That's a big goal for the Warriors as well as they restore their 5-goal lead. And anytime you can get one out of a defender like that, that is just going to bring up the temperature on that Vancouver bench. Here's Claridge, scores! Here come the Warriors. Marcus Claridge is on the board, and Vancouver up to 11.
And you just know Marcus Claridge right now is saying, finally. Deacon Knott a little bit shaken up after that contact. We may see Nick Demuth come back into this game, but Marcus Claridge, he was frustrated after last week's effort. Of course, Vancouver gets the win. That's the most important thing. And he finished the game with 4 assists, but he had some glorious chances there as well. He felt that he should have been able to find the back of the net a little bit more. Same thing could be said in this game. How many times did we talk about him in the first half of this game? And he just wasn't able to get it past Nick Demuth at the time. This time he goes to goal against Deacon Knott, who continues to get some attention from the trainer.
Wow, Claridge gets 21. That was Subak's second of the year. First here at Rogers Arena. Vancouver now up to 11. Deacon Knott getting some attention. And I kind of feel like this might be let's slow the game down here a little bit after 2 quick strikes here from Vancouver. And Deacon Knott should be okay to continue in this game, but remember, just moments ago, the Wings were kind of right there within striking distance, and Vancouver with a nice response here in the back half of this third quarter to kind of settle things down, get a couple in, and restore their confidence, and now up to a 6-goal lead.
These are the signs of a good team. Like, Vancouver was talked about as a championship caliber team long before the first game of the regular season, and they have to prove that they know how to win in these types of games. Like, we've seen them in 1-goal games. They have a good record in that case. We've seen them now respond in this case as well, where they have what seems like a sizable lead, but the trailing team is slowly chipping away. There's the seed of doubt. Vancouver gets the response, which is exactly what they need. And while the job is not done by any means, you can be comfortable in your response, and now you have to continue with what's next here.
Well, you just know with 35 standing down between the pipes there for Vancouver, you're going to have to fight, scratch, claw to get to that double-digit mark in the goals. It's just the way it is when you're playing Vancouver and Christian Delbianco. 10 is a lofty number to try and reach. This team averaging just surrendering 9.4 per game. So tall order here for the Wings, who now need at least 12 to win this one. Good luck against this Warrior defense and Christian Delbianco. I'm still buzzing off that Subak goal.
I think he might still be too.
Well, this guy's got a bunch here tonight. 5 for Keegan Ball. He's up to 42. Sheridan with a rocket. And Deacon Nutt. A tall stump. And a corkscrew pass on the mark here to Wagner. So we approach 5 to go here in the third from the Rogers Arena. There will be playoff lacrosse here. Not so much for the hockey team. Speaking of, just prior to the game, I saw the bus outside the arena, and it looked like the Canucks were having a little team outing and having some fun after their season has come to a close, as the Wings looking to close the gap here a little bit as Sam LeClaire gets his second of the night.
Yeah, LeClaire with another, and they seem to be attacking on that righty side of the floor right now, are the Philly Wings, and they love the pick and roll as it works in their favor once again. But LeClaire decides to spin off of the slide from Bowering and just shoot. He had the man open down low in Nielsen, but Sam LeClaire and Lucas Nielsen, they're becoming a bit of a duo here for Philly, here specifically in this game once again.
Yeah, I think you keep those two together for the next few years, you're going to have something cooking there with LeClaire and Nielsen. No question about it. They snap the run here as that one's swatted back into the corner, and that will sail out of play, and we will sail off to break here with 4:55 to go in this third quarter. Vancouver with a 5-goal lead over Philadelphia, 11-6 as we come down the stretch in week 21 of the National Lacrosse League. Welcome back to Vancouver as you get a look at it right here. The unicorn and dinosaur flying around Rogers Arena. Heads up down there. We do want to take you back to the Saddle Dome for the game-winning goal, and what could be now a first-place finish here for Vancouver as Tyler Pace, you know him, Tino, gets the game-winning goal here. That's the 9th goal for Calgary. Colorado will get one to get within one. That's a nice way for the Roughnecks to finish off their season. A much better team in the second half of the year. And they won some games, they lost some games, but man, they were really competitive all year long. And that Calgary team is going to do some damage in years to come here for sure. But they have opened the door for the Vancouver Warriors to walk through to a first place finish in the standings.
Yeah, and it's a feel-good goal for Tyler Pace as well. Going back to the Hayden Ureberry situation, Tyler Pace and Pro Caliber Lacrosse pledging some dollar amounts for goals over the final days of the NLL regular season. So Calgary gets the win, and there's another goal into the fund there.
There's Sinfield looking for another goal. It just got smoked by Subak, who is, well, one of them's going to take a penalty down there. As not off to the box. Chance here to go 6-on-5 late in the clock for the Wings. Maybe a chance coming late? No, and I just want to finish up on the Ureberry situation here, Tino. As like I mentioned, I had Kurt on the pod this week and asked him for a Hayden update. And by all accounts, some really positive developments in that regard. Hayden's starting to get closer to a recovery and hopefully getting out of the hospital soon and getting back to his home and surrounded by his friends and family. So real positive developments there, but keep the donations coming. He's going to need a lot of help and a long time to kind of get his recovery going. And lots of ways to do that. Buy the shirts, send the e-transfers to the RM Berards as well. And again, we're all thinking about Hayden Ureberry here in Vancouver, and I know those guys down on the turf are as well.
Yeah, I was listening to the episode of Last Class that you had earlier this week, so I was listening to that conversation. Just hearing Kurt talk about how his youngest son, Dawson, got a Snapchat from Hayden earlier in the week. It gives me chills, even just thinking about it. So the entire lacrosse community continues to come together, and they're all cheering for Hayden and his family.
Hopefully Dawson sends me a Snapchat one of those days. The Hurricane. He'll be an NLLer one day, no question about it. And so will big brother Cody sooner than later. Power play time here for Philadelphia, 4-on-3 down low. They whip it around. It's actually a 5-on-3, so Vancouver has taken 2 minor penalties here, 2-man advantage for the Wings. And this game long from over here, Tino. 5-goal deficit, a couple power play goals here for the Wings, and they're right back in this game. Kyle Jackson denied by Delbienko. Now they got to find a way to get this ball up across center. Look out, Claridge. Spin move extraordinaire. And how did he maintain his balance there to get across the stripe?
The agility of Marcus Claridge. I would put his toe drag against anybody's in the league, but the ability to spin off in tight spaces too is unbelievable.
He's going to get a bit of a tongue lashing from the veteran Jesse King as the pass did not connect and the possession comes to a close. Halfway through the 2-man advantage now, a minute to go on the 5-on-3. 3:20 here to go in the third. Again, they work 4-on-3 down low with a man as a safety valve out high. Nielsen, Jackson, Nielsen, loading, save Delbienko. A loose ball recovery for Leclerc in the corner and reset the shot clock. Jackson, Leclerc shoots. Oh, he had Delbienko leaning, but missed the goal. Still plenty of time on the shot clock here. Leclerc again. Nielsen on the crease. Tried to sift one through there, and Delbienko has been the best penalty killer so far on this attempt. Makes another save as Cornwall gets across center. Lowers the shoulder with a forearm shiver. Feeds off to Ryan Dilks. Oh, look out. Dilks lost the handle. Ball back across center as his old Rush teammate and Chris Corbeil was having a little fun with Dilks during the stretch tonight. Rolling balls while Dilks was laying on his back getting stretched out. Corbeil from his own end rolling balls at Ryan Dilks. Philly. Out comes Beers, out comes Subak. They're back to 5-on-5 and a rousing applause from the faithful here at Rogers Arena for that penalty kill. Swim move, a good one, right to the crease, backhand shot, scores, clip it for Young. What a goal.
What a goal indeed. And you had Owen Grant a little bit banged up. He blocked a shot with that right hand right at the tail end of that penalty kill. So you know he wants to get off, but Young goes right at him, catches him leaning to the inside with that first step. You'll see it here, and then just goes back underneath him. Oh, and that backhander. I mean, Delbienko almost had it. I think it's another one where he gets just a little bit, enough of it to slow it down, but it winds up between his legs, and that's a pretty one for the Wings.
Yeah, frankly, it wasn't a great backhand shot. It just found some room between the feet of Delbienko, and now Philadelphia back within 4. Incredible that they would go a full 2 minutes with a 2-man advantage and be unable to get one, and then that thing goes after the penalties had expired. Under 2 to go in the third. Dixon down to Keegan Ball, and he's stopped by Deacon Knott, who's been pretty solid since coming in relief of Nick Demuth.
Yeah, and that's a big stop with the right pad as well. Remember, it was his right ankle that he was shaking out after the Claridge goal. So good to see that he's responded well and seems to be healthy.
They're scoring some goals down in Las Vegas as well. 13-9 Dogs leading the Seals, as Vegas have already eclipsed their season high total as far as wins go, but a chance to get to a very respectable 10-8 with a victory tonight. Or excuse me, 8-10. It'd be a nice way to finish off the year down in the desert. King scores! That's a nice finish from Jesse King.
This one is all about the body language of Jesse King. Watch, he's going to dip his shoulder, and oftentimes you catch a goaltender kind of guessing there. If your shoulders, if your upper body is saying one side, and then all of a sudden you're shooting to the opposite. You can see him just hammer that to the stick side shoulder. It just drops over top. That is a goal scorer's goal from Jesse King, who continues his hot streak after that pointless game against Buffalo.
The leaner from the natural. You were doing a little lean up here in the broadcast booth there, Tino.
It was a pretty one.
Dip that shoulder and then just stick it to the far side top corner. Beautiful shot from Jesse King. 12-7 now in favor of the Warriors. Back up 5. Adler with a good battle at the faceoff dot wins it for Beers. A little fake from Grant gets across center. He has had a strong game, as he often does here for Vancouver tonight. Crease violation on Vancouver.
Claridge is on the
look out. The official going down. Turf Monster got the official at center. He's going to be okay. Stretching it out after that tumble. There's Jackson. Darting back and forth, trying to feed in front to Messenger. Ball bouncing around, and Reese Callies will just swat it down the turf. There's no reset on the shot clock. And Deacon Knott dangerously close to a delayed game. Now Del Bianco will just shovel it back into the zone and said, this is where the ball is supposed to start. As we are into the final 15 seconds. I mean, that is a really heads-up play there from the Vancouver goaltender. 15 seconds to go in the quarter. They start the possession in the offensive zone. Empty net. Looking for goal 13. 5 seconds to go. Keegan Ball with rim, fires, and not the stop. Loose ball. Charlotte Beatty's just missed at the buzzer. And we are through 3 quarters of play. 45 minutes in the books and 15 here to go in the regular season for both these teams. Vancouver trying to steer home this victory and finish atop the standings. They're 15 minutes away from doing it. We'll have it for you on the other side here in week 21 of the National Lacrosse League. Welcome back inside Rogers Arena as 3 quarters in the books and 1 quarter to go, and Vancouver looking good, leading by 5. And if they can finish this one off, will be first overall atop the standings and the #1 seed and home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. One guy that has helped them get to this point has been Curtis Dixon, and Olivia McDonald has more on him.
Yeah, guys, you look back at Vancouver's game last week against the Halifax Thunderbird. Curtis Dixon becomes the 2nd player in NLL history to have 10 seasons of 40-plus goals. Of course, when asked about it, he's giving a ton of credit to the guys around him, but I think he deserves some credit tonight for the playmaker that he is. 5 points on the evening, one of those, of course, a goal from himself. But what are we seeing from Curtis Dixon on this night?
Tino, you want to take that one? I mean, the superlatives are endless when it comes to watching Curtis Dixon. Like, I really believe we have had the privilege of watching greatness in front of our eyes for the better part of 15 years here with Curtis Dixon. And I mean, there's no sign of slowing down for him. To be at the 40-goal plateau at this point of his career, absolutely incredible. Blow the whistle, let's play some lacrosse.
I will say as well, as somebody who is a fan of the Vancouver lacrosse scene in general, we'll finish that in a moment because Philly starts off with an early goal here from distance. That's a good start for them, coming just 19 seconds in. A perimeter bid once again coming from the righties. As Longboat gets one underneath the arm of Christian Del Bianco to kick things off well. But just to finish that thought on Curtis Dixon, just somebody in myself here who was a fan of the Vancouver lacrosse scene, of course the Stealth and now the Warriors, before I got involved on the media side of things. You know, Curtis Dixon, always the enemy of the Vancouver fans because he's always filling the back of the net. He's always filling the stat sheet. And now he's back in his home province and he's just picking up right where he left off anywhere that he's gone. And he's got 5 points already this evening as well.
There's a face-off win for the Warriors and a chance here for Reid Bowering to answer right back, and he hits the post. I mean, it's honestly a little bit surreal being the voice of the Vancouver franchise for as long as I have, Tino, and watching those Calgary Roughnecks walk into Vancouver in those early years and just absolutely curb stomp them with Dixon and King and Del Bianco shutting the door and Simpson and all the rest of it, to now see them in Warriors uniform and doing it to other teams. It's been quite refreshing, I will say. Quite refreshing. Here's a chance for Callies. That's got no call on that as Callies hammered right across the back of the numbers and no penalty. And Kurt Milowski asking the same thing from the Vancouver bench. I don't know. You could clearly read the name bar there on that hit. Chance in front. And Del Bianco squeezed up against the post to keep that one out. As Philadelphia not going away quietly here. They're back within 4 and have a little momentum on their side. Wow, look at that. There he is, the glove with a steal. And the glove with a breakaway. In he comes right down, scores! Oh, how about it for Doxey? Still got some juice in those legs as he races down the turf for a breakaway goal after a steal.
Oh, and look at the smile on his face, too. Like, you see exactly there why here in Vancouver they call him the glove. How many people have been victimized by the active stick in a lane? It looks like he's laughing while he's on the breakaway there.
He's smiling before the goal.
And I mean, like, that is a goal scorer's goal as well. He's got a man on his back and he sells the goaltender high and winds up putting it between the legs. That is a savvy veteran turning on the Jets and scoring a pretty one in the final frame.
Back to center we go. Adler with a clean face-off win. The 5-goal lead restored for Vancouver, and they've really done a nice job of that all night long, Tino, as Philadelphia seemingly they're, oh, we got a chance, and then Vancouver just finds a way to snuff out any hope here for the Wings comeback. Sheridan, a bull rush to the crease. A swim move, trying to get low. Red look out, not. Lights him up. The goal will count. And a penalty was to come to Philadelphia, and with all that being said, Tino, I think this one might come back because I think Sheridan might have had a toe on the line.
And well, so if it does come back, that means that Vancouver will be going on the power play, and you can already see Ian Rubel has thrown the laundry onto the turf. So we're going to get plenty of looks at this, and Deacon Knott, I mean, he sees body, he takes body.
Yeah, the takeoff was not clean for Sheridan, and he paid a price at the end of that one, as not showing a little frustration, but it should very well be a Vancouver power play after what I would believe to be a pretty quick review here.
Philadelphia's challenging the call of a good goal on the field.
But I mean, credit to Ryan Sheridan going hard to the crease. Like, those are the things that he has to do. And I mean, I think people, you might look at the production in terms of points overall from Ryan Sheridan. Just 13 points coming into this game through his 17 games played, but that's exactly it. You see the 17 games he's played. He's been in the lineup every single night for the Warriors, and that says all you need to know about it. Kurt Malowski likes what Sheridan brings in terms of his size, his athleticism, and being able to clear that space for guys like Ball and Dixon to have some more room to be able to work however they want to work and have their success. So Ryan Sheridan, just because he's not putting up these massive totals in terms of point production, he is a valued member of this forward group.
Todd, we'll have a look in the replay view as you get another couple of looks at it. I mean, the athleticism alone, and then no intention of even caring to stop that ball. He was just looking for a pound of flesh, and he saw 91 in black and took it.
I mean, there's the foot clearly in the crease, and right on that frame as well. You can see how early Deacon Knott is committing to the contact. There is no intention to make a save whatsoever. He just wants to take body.
Here's the call from Todd LaBroche.
After review, the call on the field of a good goal is overturned. The shooter steps inside the crease. We have no goal.
One more round of booze for his career.
From Philadelphia, minor penalty for roughing. We will have the in-home serve, 5-on-4 Vancouver.
And one more round of cheers. Well, a little bit of cheers there for Todd at the penalty call on Deacon Knott. That'll be served by the in-home, which has been Cromer here tonight.
Todd LaBroche is certainly a showman.
If nothing else, yes indeed. Will be a power play here for the Warriors, as they have eclipsed 40 shots on goal now. 42-35 your shots on goal. Cromer to the box, Vancouver to the power play. And a chance to add to their 5-goal lead. King right on, not the stop. And you know Sheridan would like the chance here if he can get one. And it won't come on this possession here as a funny bounce off the top dasher. And now an opportunity to kill 30 seconds of penalty time off. Jackson. Rink wide, good pass. Here's Nielsen. Then he's stopped by Delbianco, who came right across his crease with Nielsen on the dive. And then outraced him to the corner for the loose ball as well. A diving stop and then beats an offensive player to the corner for the loose ball. Only Christian Delbianco was doing that. Dixon loading, floats one to the corner, and Deacon Knott, I mean, you know, he's been really good since coming into this game.
That's not an easy task. I mean, if the backup goaltender is coming into a game, oftentimes that means that the team has underperformed, or at the very least isn't in a good position. And I mean, he shows up right away, staring down Keegan Ball. Same thing continues here into this second half as well, and took some contact that he's battling through, right? Marcus Claridge going hard to the goal, gets rewarded with a goal, but Deacon Knott takes some contact, then initiates some contact later on. Like, he's been as advertised.
Well, we talked about it last week on the broadcast, and Brad Challoner mentioned, you know, Vancouver, their fourth quarter has been their worst quarter as far as their output goes, but it's because of situations like this here that they're in right now, with a 5-goal lead, in control of the game and in control of the clock and game situation. And they just don't need to force the issue and try and add on and pile on They just want to steer this thing home and get the victory.
Yeah, you want to be in control in the final quarter of the game to dictate your own fate. I mean, while we're at that as well, I mean, Philadelphia, and this has kind of been part of the problem for them this year, is they've allowed the second most goals against in fourth quarters this season.
Chance here for Charbonneau while action behind the play. Charbonneau! A couple of players were into it below the goal line of Del Bianco as Charbonneau went the other way on the breakaway. And it looks like penalty calls to come, and is this one going to count here for Charbonneau?
Well, the trailing official that was in the mix was signaling no goal, and that's the part that I'm a little unsure about. There was no whistle that went before Charbonneau scored. Shane Simpson has been ushered to the box.
Prior to the goal, the rule on the field is that there was a minor penalty to Vancouver, number 22 for holding. No goal, 5-on-4 Philadelphia.
They're going to wipe out the goal on Charbonneau and call a penalty on Shane Simpson for a hold. The double whammy there on the Warriors.
And they take, I mean, they've been announcing the team awards in arena here. Steph Charbonneau announced as the teammate of the year, and they just take away his first goal since that game in San Diego. You'll remember he had a big 3-point performance, and that goal now tonight comes off the board.
Tough break there for Charbonneau. Philadelphia will try and take advantage. And a good shot block there. I believe the captain Mitski in the way of that one. Look out, head level riser there from Jackson, almost pegged his own teammate. Ducking for cover.
Yeah, and it was Dalton Young as the teammate almost under fire. He had actually just gotten his helmet back on. He lost it and was trying to do up his chin strap.
That's why you wear helmets in the sport of box lacrosse.
Yikes.
Here's King. He will take his time with this as we go under 10 here in the fourth. And certainly down a man in no particular hurry on this offensive possession. Charlambides tried to hit Dixon, who had a stick held. He's looking around. Shot clock down to 2. Charlambides just dump it to the corner. And we will take our first break here in the final frame. A minute to go in the penalty time to Simpson, but the Vancouver Warriors in control with a 5-goal lead as we come back to Rogers Arena after this short break.
This is the moment you waited all week for. It's Friday night. Whether you're at home or out on the town, it all starts here.
No, he didn't!
The weekend starts here.
Oh, what a move!
With NLL Friday night on TSN.
The NLL's March to May is brought to you by Hotel Planet. Travel smarter with exclusive NLL fan discounts at nll.hotelplanner.com. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL. Back to Vancouver we go with 9.5 here to go in the game. Vancouver leading 13-8 as it'll be Philly ball out of the timeout here as Kremolowski looks on as the Wings offense goes to work. The playoff picture is becoming a little clearer and clearer as the seconds tick along here, and I believe we know who is hosting playoff games in the opening round. We'll touch on that here momentarily. Del Bianco fighting for a loose ball along with a bunch of bodies in below the goal line here. And a big old battle for this loose ball. And it's won by the Wings. Nice chance there. Again, Young with a bit of a sneaky shot, and there's a hard hit by Beers, who takes one of his own. And he'll take another run at Young. Another chance in front, and that one's in the back of the net. Landon Sinfield finds the top corner, and it's a 4-goal game with 8:46 to play.
There was so much going on in that shift. There was the long loose ball battle, and you see like right there, this is the breakdown. You can see the ball there right before that. Matt Beers took a hard hit on the boards, and he's seeing red right there. He's looking for blood. He's trying to take a number immediately, and he just overlooks the loose ball that he wound up literally having to run over top of. If that ball's picked up by, I mean, really any Vancouver defender, there was a couple in range of it. This is a clear with Billy still stuck on the crease, but instead they keep after it, they find it, and put that over the shoulder of Del Bianco.
A clean win for Adler and one of his best draws of the night. Philadelphia not going away here. Almost a turnover on Vancouver. Adler takes a run at a guy. I think that's off a Philly stick, so the ball is live. Owen Grant using his wheels, shovels across the ball, right down the pipe, scores! Sock trick for Keegan Ball.
It continues, and can you believe it? After his 5-goal performance in the first half, that's just his first goal of the second half. It just looked like things were going to continue to roll. They slowed down a little bit for him here in quarters 3 and 4, but there is that patented shot again from the logo, gets it under the arm of Deacon Knott. And how about that loose ball as well from Owen Grant to create that? He opened up space, keeping his feet moving, flipped it over his head to a wide open Keegan Ball, who had a man open on the crease as well. But when you got a hot stick like Keegan Ball, he is always going to shoot from there.
Now the tradition a little stronger in some buildings more so than others, Tino. We do have a couple of pairs down on the turf, and Mr. LeBron's a little reluctant to go pick up somebody's footwear down there, but he did it. There you go, Todd, on the Woolies. And those are probably a little extra stinky. But ball 6 of the night, and Vancouver goes back up 5 with 8:27 to play. And again, that situation where you feel like, oh, here come the Wings, and then Vancouver just finds a way to snuff it out once again. Back to center we go. Adler with another win. Bowering took a bump. Ball is loose. Adler's got it. Does he want to go to goal? Not this time. Makes the play to sharpen it. And he'll make the change as well. And you're right, Tino. I mean, the first few games for Max Adler weren't particularly great, but I mean, he has been getting better and better and better with each game and face-off he takes. And now, I mean, he is playing some excellent lacrosse in different ways, right? Not just winning face-offs, but making good decisions, coming up with loose balls, and not, being responsible defensively. All these things that had to kind of come back to him after a pretty significant absence from the game.
Well, remember, like, people talk about Vancouver and they talk about the leaders and the winners that are on this team. Max Adler is kind of a forgotten member in that category. Like, he's won in Buffalo in the NLL. He's won all throughout his field across career as well. He is somebody who knows how to win when it matters most, and he is a big asset and another beloved guy in the room.
How about that goal right there? Lucas Nielsen with a pretty one, coming back across the green as he goes airborne and tucks it in. And you get a little look at the natural ability of New West finest right there, Lucas Nielsen. Watch this one.
And it'll be a full house for Lucas Nielsen, his second goal with his 3 assists to go along with it. He's in the air. It's a bit of a twister, kind of an awkward angle, but that's what a goal scorer can do, right? It doesn't really matter the angle. Like you talk about Del Bianco contorting his body in a certain way to make saves. The best goal scorers in the world have the ability to do that as well. You talk about Josh Byrne, you call him the jump man, right? What he's able to do in the air in these weird angles. Jeff Teed, what he's been able to do throughout his career. Lucas Nielsen has a chance to be one of those guys as well if things continue to progress.
Well, I've been really impressed with his ability to do it in a variety of different ways, whether it be from the outside or the inside, as Jesse King looking high, denied by Knott. But even to go a step further to do it on ball or off ball as well, he really seems to have the knack. It doesn't matter where the ball is on the floor or whether it's in his pocket or not. He's got the ability to get open and then finish when he gets his chance. Sinfield will drive it right into a double team, and Simpson will do the job as a crease violation. I believe we did get a Del Bianco assist in this second half as well, Tino, so tack another one on for the Phenom.
So he'll be up to 17, one more, and he finishes the year as a point per game guy.
Double check, he might have more than one here tonight, but I do know he's got one for sure. This guy's got 6 goals here tonight, I know that as well, as Claridge will spin it right down to the crease. Charlambini scores! 15 for the Warriors. Charlambini's his first of the night, and the 5-goal lead restored again.
Crazy to think with the chances that Adam Charlambidis has had this evening that is his first. There's the pick and roll, like what we've talked about all game with Philadelphia. Tell kids as you're growing up, roll towards the ball, and the good passers will be able to find you. Another big one for Adam Charlambidis as the Warriors try to close things out in the late stages.
26 on the year for Charlambidis, who's been a little hot and cold at times here, but a pretty consistent year production-wise for number 8. And again, I mean, first year still learning how to play with a guy like Jesse King, and those two are only going to get better together. You can throw Claridge into that conversation as well. Ball late in the clock here, 5 to go on it. And he's way out near center. So just dump to the corner and make the change here as Vancouver with a 5-goal lead and just over 5 miles to a first place finish and home floor advantage throughout the entirety of the playoffs.
And you were right, by the way, Christian Del Bianco with an assist earlier in the game, so he's up to 18 on the year now.
There you go. Like clockwork for Del Bianco. Point a game guy, essentially. Just keeps moving up that list as far as goaltender points go as well. Eclipsed the century mark earlier this season and has not slowed down. 47-40 are shots on goal now. There's one from Jackson that's soaked by Callies. Minsky a little slow to the loose ball, but Reed Bowering helping out his captain comes up with possession. And look for Vancouver to work 30 seconds now. Would not expect them to go to goal until the shot clock at least under 10. Now we got through the crease, first to touch on Sheridan, which will bring us to our final timeout of the evening. Vancouver with the 5-goal lead and 5 minutes away from first place. Finish from Rogers Arena on the other side. Welcome back to Vancouver as Connor O'Toole has entered the goal here for Vancouver as they got the Shoey cam up on the Jumbotron in-house here, Tino. Guys and gals alike having a sip or two out of their own footwear. This is a new phenomenon here in Vancouver, and I hope it stays around for a long time. Here's what we can tell you right now. Colorado, Vancouver, Saskatchewan have all clinched home playoff games a week from tonight. Still things to be determined as far as matchup goes, Don't want to speculate too much on the matchups, Tino, although we have a pretty good idea. We're going to keep that under wraps and let the league roll that out. Connor O'Toole in between the pipes, son of Hall of Fame goaltender, Rochester defensive coach, and Patty O'Toole. As a little tool time here late in the fourth quarter for Connor, and good to see him get some minutes down the stretch of the season here. He's been a great teammate all season long for Vancouver, and getting some significant time here in the fourth quarter at home. Deacon Knott will scamper back to the Philly goal as they went with the extra attacker. There's a good shot block by another Warriors defender. They've done that really all night long, Tino. A lot of shot blocks here for the Vancouver defense tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like it's Brett Mitzke who gets the block, and like the reaction, it hits him right on the low back. And just the reaction, it's like, what else can I do? It's just coming to me now.
Ever been hit in the low back by a lacrosse ball going 100 miles an hour, you would probably have the same reaction. There's Ball trying to set one up for Dixon. 10 on the shot clock as they work the two-man game. Ball, one up. Oh, a stretching kick save there for Deacon Knott, one of his finer ones of the evening. Denying Keegan Ball his 7th of the night. In is Young. He's got maybe the goal of the night here tonight. Feet in front. There's O'Toole with a good stop as he looked behind him, but the ball rests at his feet. Pretty stiff test for your first shot seen.
And looking pretty calm in doing so. He's one of those cool cats, you know, nothing really gets him too rattled. He's played in some big games in his junior career as well, and likely will have some big ones in his pro career.
Pace will pick up that loose ball and move it on ahead to Columbus, who took his eye off that one, and it's just stolen away by Charbonneau's. Got a path to the goal, but Dixon says, you know what, we got a 5-goal lead here and 3 minutes to go. Let's just work at 30 here, fellas, and get ever closer to that clock reading triple zeros. They can taste it now here in Vancouver. A win, and they have home floor throughout the playoffs. A reset on the shot clock and a chance to kill off another 30, with Vancouver leading by 5. And if this is, in fact, Tino, if we got a quick chance here, my final game of the season, I know TSN will be stepping in next week for the playoff game. Just want a chance to thank the entire Aquilini family, Roberto, Dax, as Dixon will cash one home to Dave Sheldon and Kurt Malowski and Tyson Geik, the entire Warriors franchise here, for allowing me to sit in this chair and do what I love to do year after year. It's an absolute treat. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. And it's a job that I do not take for granted. So I just want to thank everybody for allowing me to do what I do, to all our producers who have helped out all season long as well, and Lola and Zach and Matthew here tonight. It's been a fun crew to work with, to you, Tino, to Hannah, to Olivia, everybody. Brad Challoner, of course, that's called the games here in Vancouver all season long. Just thanks to everybody.
Yeah, it's a fun time to be a lacrosse fan in Vancouver right now. It's a fun team to be around, and they're looking closer and closer towards that home playoff game next week. You know, it's fan appreciation night tonight. You know, everybody's been coming out in droves all year long. You know they're going to continue to, for ideally in their eyes a lengthy playoff run, and Curtis Dixon is going to hope to be a big part of that playoff run. He gets the latest one for the Warriors.
Up to 16 are the Warriors now, and Dixon looking to set up his good buddy Ball one more time, but not this time, as Isaiah Davis-Allen with the forced turnover there. He's going to race to the goal, gets a weak shot off. O'Toole has it spit out from underneath him, as he is yet to have one slip by him. And they're down to 90 seconds here at Rogers Arena now. Sheridan, so you want to have a go late in this game. Not quite. Bowring! One up. 17 for the Warriors tonight.
Yeah, Reed Bowering, one of the most versatile players on this team, I would argue in the league as well. They can kind of play him wherever they need to fill a hole, and he's turned into a real shutdown defender. His transition game has taken a bit of a backseat role, but you see his offensive abilities right there. He's trailing backdoor on Alex Pace, who just takes his eye off of 28 for just that split second, and Ryan Sheridan knows if he can put that ball into an area, Reed Bowering is going to find it. That's in and out of his stick in about a split second, and Vancouver now up to 17.
And it's all academic now. And a lot of special things are going to happen here with this Vancouver victory tonight. You know, of course, they're going to reach a franchise high in 13 wins, something they've never done. They're going to finish first overall in the regular season, something they have never done. Kurt Malowski is going to finish in third all alone, passing Darius Kilgore with this win here tonight as far as his coaching career goes. And of course, Keegan Ball is going to lead the National Lacrosse League in scoring with a stat-filled night here tonight, including 6 goals. What an evening here for Fan Appreciation Night in Vancouver.
And I got one more here for you, Jake, as well. But this one came last week with the win over Halifax because they got off that one-game losing skid, not to call that a losing skid. This is now the first season since 2004, when the franchise was still the San Jose Stealth, that they will go all year without back-to-back losses.
How about that? Pretty special stuff, and this team is built to win it all this year. And now we'll have home floor throughout the entire playoffs to try and accomplish that goal. As they down the Philadelphia Wings here tonight by a converted touchdown, 17-10 is your final. That's the way you want to cap off your regular season and roll into the postseason on a victory like that.
Yeah, it's about building good habits, right? You build your foundation all year long. Now you have a game that some people may have looked at as meaningless. Kurt Malowski and co did not see it that way. And now, I mean, it's being shown up on the Jumbotron in arena here. First place overall announced to the fans.
Pretty cool. I mean, I go back with this franchise to over a decade, 12, 13 years, been with this team, and to see this here kind of play out in real time, this team finished first overall in the regular season. It was a day that I thought would maybe never come, but with the addition of Kurt Malowski taking over the head coach and general manager duties, the turnaround happened pretty darn quick, and you can now see the results. First overall in the NLL, and a team that has to be favored to win it all in about a month from now.
Yeah, but you know that means they got a big target on their back. And the first round of the NLL playoffs, in case you're unaware, is a single game elimination. You have to make sure you show up with your best. If you take even a shift off in a situation like that, like the regular season doesn't matter anymore for the Warriors. They're looking towards the playoffs. That's where the focus is. If they have an off game and you know teams are going to be trying to force them into that scenario, you know, it could all be for nothing. So now it's about making sure you're focused immediately. They can celebrate a little bit tonight on what they've been able to accomplish, what Keegan Ball has been able to accomplish, Kurt Malowski climbing the ladder as well. But focus pretty well immediately has to be on the scouting report and making sure everybody's ready to go a week from now.
And for the Philadelphia franchise, we will see what the future has in store. One thing we know, if the franchise is saved and kept around, they will have the #1 overall pick in next year's entry draft. But their season is over, and Vancouver's postseason is about to begin. Tonight's 3 stars of the game is brought to you by TFL, and they are as follows. Let's get them up on your screen right now. And a bounty to choose from here tonight, Tino, but you see them on your screen now. Run it down.
I mean, Keegan Ball, first star, of course. Like, what else could you ask for than somebody like that? He needed 7 points to take the lead. Fine.
Statement.
Yeah, he puts up 11. Lucas Nielsen, his first game in front of friends and family at the pro level, has a good showing as well. He continues his hot streak to close out the year. And Jesse King, 7 points this evening. He's been on a tear since that point list.
Yeah, maybe playing his best lacrosse and doing it at the right time of the year, I dare say, as well. As I know Olivia McDonald kind of wants to wrangle up, I think wants to get the head coach and general manager down there who's just having handshakes with the officials as they come over and pay their respects to Todd LeBranche, who referees his final regular season game in his 25-year career. But Olivia's got a lasso around Mouse. Let's go down to the turf. Olivia McDonald is with Kurt Malosky.
Well, Kurt, with that win, you guys officially are first overall in the NLL heading into playoffs. Let's take a look back at the win tonight. What'd you like most about it?
I just like our ability just to keep grinding. You know, it's kind of an up and down game. They pushed back, and we just kept on pushing back. The couple goals that we probably wanted back, but what we do, we responded to the other side of the floor and put one back in their net. So I like the pushback.
How proud are you of this team that you have here in order to get to this first place?
Immensely proud of them. You know what? They worked their tails off, you know, for the last 4 or 5 months, and it's exciting now we get an opportunity to play for real. So, you know, kudos to them, and the organization couldn't be prouder to be a part of it.
Well, Kurt, with the win, you got to get some credit for yourself. You become third in all-time wins. What does it mean to you, and where do you pay the credit in all those wins?
I'd say I look to my left and I look to my right, and I think that's where all the credit goes. And I've been fortunate to be in some really good organizations over the years. So, you know, just want to keep working hard and doing what we can. But a lot of kudos just to being around long enough. I guess it just happens, but thank you.
Well, congratulations on the win and best of luck in playoffs.
Thanks, Doug.
No surprise, he takes absolutely no credit for all those coaching victories that he had. Just turned to his right and turned to his left. Rob Williams, Bobby McMahon, some of the other assistants that he's had over the years as well. But he's not slowing down anytime soon, and a chance to get some more victories before this season is done. But Vancouver will finish atop them all and host their playoffs throughout the postseason as they finish off the Philadelphia Wings here tonight. 13-5 their record in the regular season. Keegan Ball, your scoring champion in 2026. What a night here from Rogers Arena. We're off to the playoffs as the march to May continues. Thanks for watching the National Lacrosse League, everybody. For our producer, Matt Issacow, for Olivia McDonald and Tino Fair, I've been Jake Elliott. And for the fastest game on 2 feet, and for the creator, enjoy the playoffs, everybody.